It will take some time for you to learn the vocabulary words because they're not familiar to you. You may know the meaning of these words, but you may not know how to use them. It's okay because it takes time. Meanwhile, what can be done? If you cannot use these vocabulary words all of a sudden immediately as you learn, it's fine. You can work on your sentences and make them better by using some of these techniques and strategies. The first one is to fill it up with these phrases. Now, whatever I'm going to give you through this video is quite easy because all of them are very simple. Irrespective of your level, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or an advanced learner, you can always make use of these phrases because they're quite simple. It's not like the vocabulary words. I've already done 3 videos on how to work on your vocabulary, how to remember them. I've mentioned about 3 R's. Recycle, reuse, repeat. I don't know whether you have listened to that, but you can. You can do it. It's very effective. So my name is Renee Rose Matthew. If you're watching me the first time, I'm a CELTA certified tutor and also an author. Now over to today's video. You may take some time to learn these vocabulary words. Many of you love learning new words. Today's video is going to focus on some phrases, some usages that you can use in your sentences, in your thoughts while conveying your ideas. It will sound different. At the same time, it is simple. The listener will be able to understand most of it. But there could be some usages that may sound like idioms and phrases, but that's okay. You can give the meaning to that listener if they do not understand, if they are not able to grasp all of a sudden. Shall we get started? The first one is, she hadn't bargained for this. Bargain for. What is the meaning of that? Expect. So if I say while enrolling in a speaking platform, you wouldn't have bargained for this outcome. Many learners tell me that the customer care service of some of the speaking platforms are not good. They promise many things at the time of joining. If at all you connect with them, they may not give you the right, appropriate, apt answer. Okay, so that's about bargain for, expect. You can use this in your sentence. So I gave you the general example and also I gave a context. So the context for today is learning English, enrolling in different courses, your expectations, the outcome. This is going to be the area. Okay, are you ready for the next one? The next sentence is, it suddenly dawned on her. Dawned on, realize. It suddenly dawned on me that I hadn't taken my house keys. So I walked back and I took it. So here suddenly she realized. Let's go to the context for today. It suddenly dawned on some learners that grammar and vocabulary words alone do not contribute to fluency and communication skills. It's much more than that. The thought flow, the way you convey your ideas, it's a combo of many aspects. I've already done videos on this. It suddenly dawned on many people that everybody that you come across on YouTube are not authentic trainers. I already mentioned about the fraudulent activities prevalent both offline and online. You may think it's only happening online. No, even offline centers also contribute to this. Are you ready for the next one? Now, if you use these kind of usages in your sentences, don't you think that it gives a different flavor to your sentences? Instead of using the vocabulary words that you're already working on, you may take some time to use them in the right places. Recently, I came across one of my learners learning vocabulary words to the maximum. If you cannot use it in the right places, I wouldn't recommend you using it. Then you may ask me, how do I learn these words as if I don't use them? You can learn them if you just practice at home. Before you use it in front of a person or a group of people, if it's not the learning space, be very careful. You can use such phrases or expressions. She got over her illness. She got over her illness. That is, she recovered. Now, there are 2 words in the English language, recover, recoup. What is the difference? I've already done a short video on this. If you know the difference, you can comment if you reach this part of the video. Otherwise, what you can do, you can just go back to that short video and listen and come back. recoup and recover. They're more or less the same. There's a small difference. She got over her illness means she recovered. Even if you're suffering from a very toxic relationship, or there are a lot of people telling me during the language counseling sessions that I'm not able to focus because I am trying to overcome this broken relationship, the aftermath of broken relationship. So you need to get over. We always ask our friends and our relatives, you need to get over this. You got over it successfully. Very good. I'm so happy for you. Similarly, if you're not able to get over the aftermath, the consequence of not being able to successfully learn words or phrases, sometimes when you learn the language also, you may not easily get over this consequence of being corrected all the time. If you're genuinely approaching people who correct you, who take the effort to be on time, to help you with your progress, you may find it difficult to get over. I'm using very simple words here deliberately so that you can understand the practical aspects. It may take some time for you to get over that consequence of realizing that you've been making the same mistake over and over again. Okay, that is sometimes being obsessed with the vocabulary words, at times not paying attention to the simple aspects of language. The next one is talking it over. Okay, if you're not able to get over something when it comes to language, I think it's important for you to talk it over. You can take the help of a mentor or a coach or anybody who's authentic. It's not just about getting the guidelines, but discussing the topic with someone instead of following it blindly and then wasting your time, because time is precious. It's very important to give productive, qualitative analysis to the time that you use while working on your language. The next one is you wound them up. What is the meaning of this? You deliberately got them cross. To create more tension in the atmosphere, to create more anxiety. There are people who do that effortlessly. Create more tension and anxiety in the air. So you deliberately wound them up. So you may come across this attitude at your workplace or even at home. You can say that when you are into this learning journey, sometimes you easily get wound up. And it could be done effortlessly if you compare yourself. If others are able to provoke you to make yourself compare to others. Not with others, but to others unnecessarily. There are a lot of people telling me, I have my own YouTube channel, but it's not growing. See, it'll take time for your YouTube channel to grow. Even if you make very good content, it may not grow very easily, but there will be some progress. People want instant success, even when it comes to learning language, because we are living in this fast world and people make you believe that with some strategies you can do it very easily. Nothing is easy. You have to put in both hard work and smart work. So the usage here is wound up. Okay, I'll read something out to you. There are other examples. She gets pretty wound up before a game, getting very worried or nervous. Wound up. The crowd was so wound up before the game because it was raining and they kept the crowd waiting for a very long time from morning till afternoon. So like that, situations of nervousness, anxiety, more excitement in the negative way can always create tension. There are two usages, call on and call up. Call on is, I'll give you an example, he called on her, which means he visited her. Called on. Suppose you want to say that somebody called you yesterday, she called me yesterday. Yes, he called me yesterday. Not simple verb, called, but otherwise called on means visited. Okay, otherwise call up is generally used in formal context, specifically when somebody joins the military organization or when there is a calling. They say he was called up to join the military organization. So there's a very big difference between called on and called up. Up, on. Some of these prepositions follow these usages and you may think that it's very difficult to remember them. If you use it in context, it's very, very easy. The next one is he launched into a long speech. Launching into a long speech. Don't worry, I'm going to give you examples by the end of this video. I will be writing something in my journal and that will also be a part of this video. So launched into a very big speech means began the new speech. launching the rocket, beginning something. That is the meaning. The next one is they dreamt up this way of doing it. They dreamt up this way of doing it, which means they invented this way of doing it. Invented this way of doing it. So dream, something that is new. So doing something in a new way, or it could be inventing anything. Okay, so they invented this way of doing it. It can refer to any idea, any project, anything that you do on a daily basis, but in your own way, inventing things up. So these are some of the usages, and here you can see some prepositions. Now the next challenge is, how do I use it? I need a context. How can I use it? I always ask my learners to write out things. What I do is, I know it's not very easy to remember these phrases. Yes, it's not very easy. Okay, so you have up, on, out, in, and then you have these simple verbs. Did you see that? The verbs with up, on, it, at. How will you remember? For example, call on, call up. And then for a beginner, ring up and call on and call up. Everything will be same for a beginner. Sometimes we get confused. In such cases, you have to write a short paragraph. What I do is I write in my journal. So today I've got something to share with you. So as I'm doing it, I'll just play the video. As I'm writing, I'll show you some areas and some portions that I have written in my journal. And in that way, I think you can also get an idea of how you can use it in the same context. I'm going to describe something here, and from this context, you can easily remember it like a story or a situation, and then use it in your sentences. So remember, if you're not able to remember these words, the difficult words, the vocabulary words, don't drop it. Don't say, I'm not going to learn these words. Don't be stubborn with the words and think that these words are not meant for me. It will take time, because even if you get the context correct, you may not get the pronunciation right. It may take time, and that's okay. Meanwhile, you can use these phrases and you can sound very professional. Depends on how you frame your sentences. When you're speaking in a very, you can say, semi-formal context, you can use it in that way. You can use your sentences and frame the sentences that way. Remember not to make it messy. If you're going to use too many phrases, too many vocabulary words, and if you're going to throw and spit idioms here and there unnecessarily, it's not going to sound like fluency. Okay? It's not because the other person is not able to understand you, but it's simply because it's not necessary. You can even use simple words and become a very good communicator. Most of the motivational speakers, people who have proved their eloquence, definitely have spoken about this. Here, I'm writing my journal for the day, and I shall be using those phrases we learned just now. Don't worry, the sentences with the phrases will be displayed for you. Suddenly, it dawned on me that writing my reflections could help me feel better. Altogether, I had a tough, tedious day. Yes, I hadn't bargained for this. I dreamed up doing this since long. That is to train people, write books, and just begin my own platform where I could help people. Additionally, I always wanted to begin writing my reflections at least for 15 minutes every day. A journal helps with that. Yes, I knew it. I learned that it's not necessary to launch into a big speech or script in order to work on a routine. Daily chores, work, and time management wound me up in confusion. Soon, I identified where the focus got dissipated. I'm finding some time to call on my strength exclusively for this activity, which recharges my focus and energy for the next day. You know something? I learned that confused minds immersed in comparison will feel better by talking it over with a friend or even with the self. This is what I always ask my learners to do, to practice, because we are living in a transitory, dissipating world. When I look back, I feel good. I feel good about the routine I have established. Better and just well. Okay, so these are the small things that we can give attention to. I've been doing it this way. I've been helping my learners also this way. Happy learning.